Hello and welcome to the Empowering Your Journey as a Wellness Educator YFP 202 webcast. In the ever-evolving world of wellness, the role of a Shaklee ambassador is more than just selling wellness products. It's about becoming a beacon of knowledge and guidance in a digital age. Even if you're the most passionate ambassador, you'll face three obstacles that can stall your journey without having the foundational skills needed for success. The three obstacles you face without these foundational skills are: one, lack of engagement. Without the skill of heartfelt communication, you may struggle to convey your passion and knowledge effectively. And this can lead to a lack of engagement from your audience, who may find your message uninteresting, unrelatable, or, well, lacking empathy. The second obstacle is market resistance. Lacking a strong foundation in the skills of an educational marketer often leads to an uphill battle against resistance, as potential clients see you as a salesperson and, well, not as a wellness guide. And then three, capped growth. Without the skills of a nurturing team builder, you might find it difficult to inspire, support, and retain a strong team, leaving you limited to your personal sales efforts with capped growth potential. Now, these challenges can cloud the path, making it difficult to emerge as a trusted wellness educator. But what if you could turn these obstacles into stepping stones for success? So, hey, thanks for joining us for tonight's YFP 202 webcast. Again, empowering your journey as a wellness educator. Because remember, we're making the shift. We're helping you guys make the shift from being seen online as a Shaklee salesperson to a valued resource and a wellness educator. So this webcast is your gateway to not just identifying the what, but also discovering the why behind the transformative skills that'll position you as a wellness educator. In this webcast, we're going to dive deeper into the three foundational skills and explore the pivotal abilities that will set you apart in the digital wellness landscape. We're going to explain their impact. You'll learn why these skills are not just essential, but critical for your evolution from a product advocate to a wellness educator. And then, of course, you'll be able to take the first step, gain insights on actionable tactics that you can implement immediately to begin your transformation. And, of course, have a peek into your future. You'll get a glimpse of the resources that we offer and what we're continuing to do to support you, designed to deepen your expertise and expand your influence. I'm just so excited that you've chosen to embrace the opportunity to develop the foundational skills that will enable you to cultivate a thriving wellness community, navigate the digital marketplace with confidence, and become a beacon of health education. So let's journey together from overcoming challenges to celebrating. Well, hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Jody Steig, but you can call me Coach Jode. I was 8 years old when my parents started their Shaklee business way back there in 1981. And I was lucky enough to be able to join them on Shaklee's yearly incentive trips and drive in their bonus cars. And I wanted their lifestyle, so I sponsored under them when I was 18. In 1997, we realized we needed to learn how to use the internet to build if we wanted to build beyond our island. Vancouver Island is where I'm from. So with the help of a web developer in the Philippines, I put our three-step sponsoring system online. And within a few months, using our new online system, I became a director. And other leaders started asking if they could get a website like mine, and that was the beginning of what is now Your Freedom Project, or YFP for short, which has now evolved into a 360-degree ecosystem of marketing resources that will support your shift from salesperson to wellness educator and community builder. And now let's introduce Coach Kristen.
And hello, if we haven't met, my name is Coach Kristen, and like Coach Jody, I'm deeply vested in the tech in helping Shaklee ambassadors like you ride the digital wave relatively seamlessly. And it was a curious click in 2009 on an advertisement on an online ad site that led me to Shaklee through the YFP funnel, marking the start of a 15-year transformative journey. And that's how I was led to the transformative world of Shaklee and wellness. And it's a journey that I'm incredibly honored to share with each and every one of you. Okay, So, to truly shine in this business, you'll need to cultivate three important skills: your ability to communicate, your flair for marketing, and if you're aspiring for a lasting career income, your ability to become a team builder. So, at the heart of every successful venture is genuine connection. And whether you're promoting an upcoming live event, reaching out to a potential client, or inspiring your team members to take action, effective communication is key. And being a great communicator isn't just about speaking effectively, it's equally about listening, understanding, and building meaningful connections with others. And while sales are essential for generating income in network marketing, relying solely on direct sales tactics can pigeonhole you as just another salesperson, which often leads to resistance from potential clients. Whereas in contrast, positioning yourself as an educator fosters trust and establishes rapport. And by adopting education based marketing strategies, you pave the way for a solid, sustainable, and ever growing business. And this approach magnetically draws people toward you, making them more receptive to your message. And at YFP, our mission is to provide you with the resources to draw people in and guide them into your educational ecosystem. Within this space, you'll continuously offer value, foster meaningful connections, and nurture a loyal clientele that stays with you for a lifetime. I know many of you have customers that have been with you since the beginning, which is really cool. And so we want to help facilitate that even more. And the educational marketing strategy ensures that you minimize or bypass the market resistance entirely, prioritize your clients' unique needs, engage potential clients so that they'll persuade themselves towards a positive decision. And when you focus solely on promoting products, your income is directly tied to your personal efforts. And this means that in order to earn more, you have to do more yourself. Whereas when you cultivate a network of ambassadors who also promote, that helps to create the sales. And this structure allows you to earn from the collective efforts of your team, gain leverage, providing multiple streams of income that can scale beyond what you could achieve on your own. And by building a team, you're not only amplifying your reach, but you're also creating a collaborative environment where everyone's strengths come into play. So together, together as a united force, you can achieve far more than any single effort could. So in essence, a nurturing team builder goes beyond just enrolling people to be part of their team. They're dedicated to ensuring that each member thrives, feels supported, and reaches their full potential. And this holistic approach not only benefits the individual team members, but also contributes to the overall success and cohesion of the team. So you might be asking yourself, well, why do I need to develop these skills? Well, network marketing pros Eric Worre, John, and Nadia Melton talk about what they've learned and how they developed their skills and the impact it had on their wellness business. So let's watch this short clip with them.
My name is Eric Worre, and today I have top network marketing earners and social media experts, John and Nadia Melton.
Woo!
How are you?
We're living the dream. We're excited. We can hardly hide it.
It's great that you're here. Thanks for coming to Vegas. You guys have been in network marketing for how long?
22 years for me, coming up next month.
Yes, 22 years.
A little longer for you.
Right.
We met in network marketing. She'd already done like 2 or 3 companies beforehand. Yeah.
Just your getting started story. I find it fascinating, John, that you were not willing to be kind of publicly out there because this profession has obviously gotten you out of your shell.
Yeah. And they used to
Yes.
try to get her to convince me to speak in front of the room because I wouldn't even do a testimonial. They couldn't get me to do an introduction of like the speaker.
Can't even imagine that.
Dude, I literally, when
Yes.
I warned them, I said, if you try to bring me in front of the room, I'll walk out. Years later, I realized I was just super insecure. But at the time, it was like, no, I'm not going up there. And there wasn't even a reason. I was just like, I mean, I knew the reason, but I wouldn't say it to other people. I'm like, I don't want to go up there. You told me I could bring people to the meeting, and that's what I'm doing. I'm a body
but
tracker.
the hard charger in you, I would assume, would say, well, what changed for me is somebody said the person with the marker, person up front makes the money. And I went,
That was it.
well, I guess I got to be one of those people.
Yeah.
Like I had people, tell me I'll never do a 3-way phone call, or I'll never do a 2-on-1 lunch, or I'll never
do videos.
I'll never meet somebody face to face, or
Yeah.
I'll never,
Yeah.
I'll never use social media. That's nonsense. And I always like, okay, I hear your point. Let's take a look at what's working. What Jim Rohn used to say is be a product of your own conclusions. Take a look at what's actually going on, make that decision, and move forward, and be willing to adapt and willing to adjust.
Right.
There's a lot of pivots.
I'll say this,
Yeah.
when I launch a new person, I typically have them do what they're comfortable doing at first, because I know they're just not ready to take that leap. And that was me. I just wasn't ready to start speaking in front of the room. But you know what happened? I had a guy on my team that started doing presentations, and he was brutal. And I'm sitting there like, dude, this is awful. Like I need to get up there. Like, anyway, I remember just being so blown away by every single event I went to. I remember sitting in the seats being like, how do they know what to say? How are they just talking for like an hour straight? They were always so sharp, so dynamic in front of the room. And I would always make sure that I qualified for whatever the leadership recognition thing was. With that being said, did that for a little while. Then they got shut down. Nadia and I went into the mortgage industry and we crushed.
Now, before I got recruited into that company, I did Mary Kay in college. I was an aggression session. Now, back in the day,
An aggression session.
like I was so criticized by my upline because they go, Nadia, we're in a people business, right? They should kind of like you if you want them to follow you and your beautiful protocols and your beautiful ideas. So they really, really criticized me. So I started to recognize like, okay, maybe I should read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Polish things
like,
a bit.
Polish it. I was a little too
She had no
rough.
tolerance.
I had
No tolerance
zero
for people.
tolerance, Eric.
Or excuses.
I'm like, wait, I don't understand. So you have this big goal. You don't show up early to the meet. Like I was a drill surgeon. I, first of all, had a huge vision. So a lot of times, right, for those of us that maybe don't want to step outside of our comfort zone, like at 16, I came halfway across the world, no internet, 1996. So anyways, I get started in network marketing. I captivate this vision. I'm thinking I'm going to buy my own island. I call my family in Russia. I'm like, you guys get ready. Scarcity will be behind us soon. And my parents were so critical. They're like, gosh, we just paid all this money for you to go to college. And they said all this negative OPO, So I hung up and somehow
explain OPO.
OPO, other people's opinions.
Yeah.
So they didn't catch my vision. Very much like that doesn't sound good. Network marketing didn't have a good reputation at the time in Russia. And I just remember thinking, wow, that's their ideas. They're halfway across the world. What can they do to stop me? Goodbye. I'm going to do what I need to do. And yes, so the first 10 years, like I did have some quick success, like what you were saying, because only like numbers, I had no fear for
Just from the
whatever
grind.
reason. I just grinded.
Like to faint.
I spoke with a heavy accent. I wasn't smiling much, but like my advantage was I had an amazing work ethic at the time, still do today. A little bit crushed it. For sure, it got a little heavy, when the FTC shut it down.
You went into the mortgage business?
Mortgage industry.
When?
Yeah.
When? What year?
2004.
2004. I've heard this story several times from several people in conversation in the chairs you're sitting in. You built and it was going great, and then 2008 hit and everything, you got the rug pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a job because this guy that I had recruited his girlfriend into the previous company, he was very sharp, very smart. And he's like, I think you would crush it in mortgages. But this was like, 8-9 months before that company went out of business. And I remember thinking, I don't know what a mortgage is. No idea what that even means, but okay. And just kind of like, just remembered that conversation because he was sharp, So anyway, we were in Colorado, and unfortunately, my father died. Then shortly after that, Nadia got pregnant, and we're like out in Colorado. We're kind of doing this other company, but not really. We're basically sleeping in every day till 12, going out drinking. We're waiting tables. We're not really doing much. and we were going to get a job. They hired Nadia because she had a college degree.
Yes.
And I can't work there because I don't have a degree. So I hit up Tom and I'm like, hey man, so if I come back to Maryland, if I come back there, do you think you can get me a job? And he's like, absolutely, 100%. So we moved back to Maryland. And anyway, so we ended up doing mortgages. And the first year I made $125,000, which was astronomical. But it's interesting, took what I learned in network marketing.
Of course.
And then she's pregnant at a different mortgage company where our upline from our previous company was, right, Knox. And she's crushing it. Now, that was eye-opening. Comparing it to what we did in that first network marketing company, it was like the easiest thing in the world because it's all phone calls.
Well, yeah. I mean, the skills that you learn here, people don't really understand what it does to their other traditional businesses. Even people who come into the profession and then leave, they're like, well, now this is just got easy.
Yeah.
Because wait, you're going to provide leads, or whatever is happening. So it's just leads. Finding leads, contacting, inviting, presenting, following up, closing.
And it was funny because I remember at first, so the guy that hires me, he says, if you make 100 calls a day, you'll make 6 figures. And I straight up told him, I don't know what a mortgage is, but I will outwork every loan officer in your company.
Right.
And, I went to work and absolutely body slammed it. Next year I was the #1 loan officer. I still made 500 calls every single week. And I remember because they would post the call logs.
Sure.
I'm always on the phone. I'm going to the bathroom. I got my headset in. It was all just work ethic. And it was because of what I learned in network marketing.
So
that's fun.
Here's the rule. Try everything. Find a way to be interesting. You don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be clever. You can leverage other people's cleverness. You just have to start.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I love what you, Jasmine, I'll never, that's exactly what I said. And look at us now, right? So remember that while these 3 skills are foundational, embracing qualities like resilience, adaptability, continuous growth, and the magic of building friendships, lasting friendships, will be your allies on this exciting journey, as they just shared in the video, and how the skills they've learned have transferred into other areas of life and career. So with that, let's move on to the next segment with Coach Jody.
So, embarking on the path from a product advocate to a wellness educator is a transformative journey that demands more than just a superficial understanding of your offerings and really who you are and what you bring to the marketplace. It requires a fundamental shift in how you interact with your audience and how you position yourself in the wellness industry. These 3 foundational skills are not just tools, they are the pillars that will support and amplify every aspect of your ambassadorship. One, again, is heartfelt communication. And it's the bridge that connects your knowledge to the hearts and minds of your audience, enabling you to articulate the deep-seated value of wellness in a way that resonates on a personal level. This skill ensures that your message isn't just heard, but it's felt and remembered. The next one is educational marketing. Now, this is the magnet that draws in a knowledge-hungry audience. By leading with education, you position yourself as a valuable resource, not a sales pitch. This approach builds trust, establishes your credibility, and creates a following of informed clients who understand and believe in the benefits of what you offer. I'm just going to get you guys to type this out. It's such an important phrase. When you lead with sales, you create resistance. When you lead with education, you build rapport and trust. So let's get everybody to get to the keyboard and type that out. When you lead with sales, you create resistance. When you lead with education, you build trust and rapport. We'll give you guys a moment to type that out. Way to go, Randy. Randy's got the quick version. Lead with sales equals resistance. That's right. Now, that's not to say you can't sell. Remember that, because you've got to sell. At some point, you have to be able to have sales conversations. Here we go. We got some stars for you guys. Way to go. So when you lead with sales, you create resistance. So what we're saying is lead with education, then move them into an enrollment process, right, through your marketing funnels. And then you have that welcomed sales conversation. And then you can follow up and maintain that relationship again with education. So let's move to the next critical skill, and that's nurturing team building, being a nurturing team builder, transitioning into a role that fosters growth, not just for yourself, but for others, multiplies your impact and sets the stage for a sustainable, expanding business. And I just saw this neat image on Facebook, which a little stick man is crawled up to the top. And the first image, the stick man is at the top of the mountain. And it says the point of getting to the top of the mountain, and then the next image shows up, is to help the next one come up. And that's really what being a nurturing team builder is all about. So it's about you learning to move up, and then really the joy comes from helping others make it up as well. So this skill is about cultivating a culture of success where you and your team can thrive together. By integrating these skills into your practice, you evolve into a wellness educator who doesn't just sell products, but really transforms and changes lives. And this webcast is the first step in understanding the profound impact these skills will have on your personal growth, your professional brand, and your ability to create a legacy in the wellness community. So this one's really important because it's one thing to kind of know, many of you know that obviously communication skills is pretty important in a marketing business. Many of you now know about education-based marketing being pretty important, or some marketing strategy at that, as well as being a team builder. But how do you implement these things? Well, implementing the 3 foundational skills into daily practice requires intentionality, strategy, and consistency. So here are some tips for each skill. The first one here is tips to cultivate heartfelt communication, and that is active listening. When we studied Russ Devan many years ago, who really helped kind of formulate the YFP way, this is an evolution of that. One of the big things that he talked about was to engage powerfully with people, and that is to listen in a way that you're not having your own conversation going on in your mind, waiting so you can jump in and say your piece. You're really just listening to what they're saying. So you want to spend more time listening in conversations, and it's a skill to learn that. Personal stories, sharing a personal anecdote that illustrates your experiences with wellness, and then of course also having a feedback loop. Encourage and act on feedback and not to take it personal. And you could get some of that in that video with Nadia and John, that in his case, at first he wasn't willing to hear any feedback. With her, she probably came on too strong. She probably wasn't much of a listener in the beginning. It was more about what she wanted to say. The next skill, how do we implement this here, is personal stories are just such a big component, right? Because they make you more relatable and trustworthy. Here's a tip, by the way, is use stories on Facebook and Instagram for this. So I'm just going to get you guys to type that out. To use stories on Instagram, Facebook. I believe stories are maybe on, I don't know, TikTok, but I think Snapchat is where they came from originally. So that from a social perspective, like how are you going to actually implement this? Make that part of your day. Get good at putting stories out that let people know what are you up to. Yeah, way to go, Marilyn. And then let's get into the feedback loop. Again, encourage and act on feedback from your audience to show that you value their input and are committed to really listening to them and meeting their needs. Here's another tip, by the way, for that is run polls in your groups. If you want feedback, go and run a poll. You guys notice that we always run polls on our subject lines and other decisions that we're going to make, so we get to hear from you guys. In fact, I ran a poll to find out whether you guys preferred the term educational or wellness educator or wellness guide. And then of course, the next one is educational marketing. How are we going to implement that? Use a content calendar. Use the content calendar that we post in your dashboard, as you guys can see. So we can also help you. You can join us on Wednesdays for Content Creators Club for guidance, and subscribe to our Social Marketing 365 service. And maybe I'll just get the team to drop in the link for that in case you guys are curious about that and you want to think about it right now. The other one is to hire our virtual assistants team to help you with personalized content. And let's drop a link for them about that as well. Now, I just wanted to ask you guys, have you noticed the new content calendar as well as we are now making for you a PowerPoint so you guys can do a wellness discovery show every week. Who is seeing those? I've dialed right in, so I am leading this. So I'm the one who is behind this. And now the team knows the formula and what we want, so they can take more of it. I don't have to be on all parts of it, but I really realize that we have to be able to give you guys a clarity on what you do and then what we're going to do for you. So you'll know what your part is to play and then how we support you. Otherwise, the wellness community will feel a bit too big. Like, oh my God, I got all these pieces and how do I do it all? And remember, we're trying to help you guys build a business on 60 to 90 minutes a day, right? We need you guys to be able to fit this in the nooks and crannies in your day. It makes you a more attractive business model when you're, let's say you're enrolling a single mom who's just trying to make an extra earning after work and cooking for the kids, and she's only got a small bit of time. We want to do all the heavy lifting. So let's find out. Let's bring in Kristen and just maybe get a bit of feedback quickly on, you've been sharing it in Marketing Monday. We're kind of getting everyone dialed in. And I just want you guys to realize that the wellness show is really the heart and soul of your brand and your messaging. It's a platform that allows you to share what you think and get people to connect with you. And I have also heard some of my coaching clients say, I'm not doing video. So Kristen, maybe just share your thoughts so far.
So far, well, the nice thing is there's still a few people that, they're not quite keen to do video, but those who have stepped out and done it, it's excellent to be able to see that they have that one central hub of information where they're showing up, they get to connect with their audience, and it helps to keep them in the loop with what's going on in their business on the social side so that they can stay more engaged with the audience. So that's what I'm seeing so far, and it's been a really positive experience and a lot of fun too, minus a few technical glitches, but those always come.
Well, and one thing, and I'm going to mention this too, is that you guys will notice, so we saw Danny Cade was having an issue, for example, with dealing with, she would download PowerPoint and then it wouldn't work or something like that. So now when you click it, it'll just open up into an online version of the slides. You don't have to download it. It should be cross-browser compatible. There should be less technical challenges. Obviously, we can't fix whether Facebook's giving you a hard time or not, but we'll do our best to guide you through it. But I would love your guys' feedback on that. And I just want you to remember that the point of the Wellness Discovery Show, okay, so the PowerPoint that we create for you, is it's your way to tell everyone what's going on with your educational content. So it's like, I've got this piece of great content, this webinar coming up, right? This is my replay. Here's why you want to check it out. It's archived in my Wellness Center. My newsletter's coming out, and this is what's good about it. Because we're the ones building all that for you, we write the PowerPoint. So all you have to do is just be the speaker, letting everyone know about all the good stuff you have that they can check out and to draw them in. Your main job is to promote the show, right? To invite people. Well, we've written that right into that content calendar. Now, we're going to do one more piece for you in this, and that is we're going to create you a PowerPoint that will also help you to do a show inside your retention group. Because the Discovery Show is meant for people that aren't in your business yet. It's to help you attract new people. So you've got this value-driven piece of content that's going every week that allows you to keep inviting people to something new and fresh. The retention content, the retention PowerPoint, will allow you to do basically a customer corner, to invite to do your show into your existing group of clients and let them know about something product related. It'll be very Shaklee specific. And that's actually going to be one of the easiest ones for you guys to do, at least for some of you. And the way we're setting it up is like this. You would do 15 minutes for your Discovery Show, and then you just flip over. And by the way, you do your Discovery Show in your Facebook page and or group. You could stream it into both. I won't get into how, but there's a way. And then you do your second show, another 15 minutes, and that would be in your retention group. That's 30 minutes of work. To me, your other 30 minutes, if you were going to do an hour in a day on that day, would just be letting people know that you did the show and come check it out. So would love your feedback on that, because one of the reasons why we want to get that going is we know for those of you that already have existing customers, it's so much easier. You just immediately get your existing customer base already in that group. You can start dealing with retention right off the bat. so that we don't want you to enroll new clients and not have some regular piece of value going to them, helping them understand Shaklee. And then we will also be helping you guys deploy your challenges. So we don't believe in running challenges every month. It's too hard on your audience, and it's too hard on you. But about every 6 weeks, or at least once per quarter, we will be helping you guys deploy a discovery-oriented challenge, and then helping you deploy something that would be a retention-oriented challenges if you chose to do them. Again, you guys don't have to do all this. You can pick and choose the pieces that fit for you, or you can go full on. And just so you know, the way I'm creating this is I basically created one kind of like client number one, which is like a demo client. We call her Ann Thomas. So our thought was, if we had one client and we could do exactly what we wanted to do for her, if she was like did everything we would teach her, what would she do? So that's what we set that up for. And then we're teaching you guys to fit into that. And it's something you can do in 60 to 90 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week. So we're creating all that for you guys to do that. And we've also gone out and, as you can see here, we've got Anna who's with us and Zenny. So we've been able to pick up 2 support elves to help you, because we realized, like, for example, in Danny's challenge, she had issues with Facebook, and it was, it's just Kristen all by herself trying to not only coach, but also do tech support, and that's not her job. So we realized we've got to solve that, and we've done that. The big thing is that you guys take the effort and the time to embrace this, and then just go with us. And I guarantee you what we're doing works. So now, next piece to move on from that, again, implementing, right, is teach and then sell. So in every piece of content, focus on teaching something new or providing insightful information before you make any product references. Well, we build all that into the content for you. So everything that I'm explaining to you isn't something you have to figure out, gosh, how am I going to do that? It's like, well, we already do that for you. We're just letting you know kind of how we do things so that you'll agree with us. I guess so. You'll embrace it, right? So, and then of course, look for buying signals and then have sales conversations at the right time. And that's really what you're trying to do. So things like case studies, success stories, and real life examples can do this. That'll show the effectiveness of the products and the lifestyle you're promoting. And again, we'll build that into your retention group slides and any of the content we do with you. Then of course, let's talk about implementing nurturing team building. So regular check-ins for coaching classes, schedule team building meetings on Zoom. Now, I recommend that you also have your own team chat. I helped our downline, Pamela Schmalling, for example, to do that. I've helped it with the Sherapans, where they each have their own team chat, and it's not for customers, it's just for team builders. You want to have that because that's what your little space where you get to gather together, you want them to do or event that. So having a team building chat group app or Facebook is just critical. So type that out if you could, please. Team group chat. We'll just call that Team GC. So I need a Team GC. Even if there's only you and one other person or there's no other people, create it anyways. What you want to do though is come up with your own team name, but don't make it around your name. So it's not like the Woodson group. You don't want that because it's a squeeze on other leaders. You want a generic name, such as, the 1, 2, 3 masters or the team builders or the, whatever, just something like that, okay? That it's not going to make it where a leader feels they have to move on and create their own group, or otherwise it's sort of squashing their leadership. So you create a generic name for your team, and that's what everybody's goal is to fill that team chat, okay? So create it even if you don't have a team yet. And then your goal is to fill that team chat. All right. By the way, you guys will notice we've done that, right, with the YFP community chat. That's how we update you guys of what's going on, things like that. So consider our Zoom plan, by the way, which offers unlimited storage when recording your meetings and nurturing team building, and maybe the team can throw in the link to the Zoom chat. Let's just go up a little bit there, Grace. I missed that piece there. Thank you. So I guess we already did have that one. Again, in your Zoom meetings, you're going to want to provide support, share successes, and address challenges. That's how you'll have these great team meetings. And then collaborative goals. set team goals that are ambitious yet achievable, and work towards them together, celebrating small wins along the way. By the way, this is something that I would also recommend highly, is in your team chats, I would definitely recommend that you review, if your team is not, for example, in YFP, they don't know of any of the content, do a discovery show with your team, right, or parts of it, or do the retention-based content. So when we're making you these PowerPoints every single week, it gives you the content so you guys can put on fantastic meetings with your team. You don't have to always, like my parents, week in, week out, they had to make their own slides, they had to think of it all themselves. Get your team into that. That's what Angel Torres does. His weekly meeting on Thursdays, he's doing it right now, is product driven. So, well, I mean, it's a mix of things, but then, oh, that one sort of disappeared on me there, Grace. Yeah, personal development. Encourage and provide resources for personal and professional growth, like books within your team, such as connecting them to free training that we offer, such as Marketing Monday, our Content Creators Club on Wednesdays, YFP 101 on Tuesdays, and then events like tonight, and then Networkers University that happens on the Thursdays that when YFP 202 is not on. So next week, we're going to be going into that, as well as for our wellness community coaching. Consider signing up and enrolling for that, or targeted topic coaching. So we're going to be launching that this year, where for those of you that either have taken coaching sessions and you just need specific help, we can do that. So this is why we're so happy you're here. This is really a pivotal moment for you as an ambassador and an educator in this digital age. In fact, let's hear from personal branding expert and network marketing pro, Tanya Eliza, how important it is that you prioritize personal growth and development skills. Let's watch this short clip.
Hey there, what is going on? Today I want to talk about basically your personal development, and basically a lot of comments on Facebook that have been going around, that sort of thing. And with social media these days, we can hear a lot of noise, all right? We can hear a lot of stuff. Now, in the industry that I happen to be in, which is network marketing, absolutely love the industry. In this industry, we have the privilege to really undergo a lot of personal development, right? Reading all these great books, getting all this great seminar information inside of us. And I think in the entire world, we are probably one of the most personally developed industries out there. Okay, now that's a pretty bold statement, but if somebody takes their network marketing profession seriously, you will find that we have some of the most greatest minds in the world that come out of our industry. And we are supposed to practice what we preach, right? And so a lot of us talk about reading great books. And, you know, we read all of this good stuff and we put it in our minds, right? And then what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to do something with that information, right? We're not just reading these books to put the information in. We're going to be doing something with that information. So here's the problem. The problem is that social media allows us to really speak freely, almost too freely. And lots of people are following you, listening to you, whether you know it or not. I know for me, there's a lot of people that will comment, you know, on some of the things that I put out on my Facebook page, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that person was a follower of mine. Oh, that's cool, you know? So there's people watching you that you may or may not know that are watching you. We really have to take our personal development and we have to practice it. We not only should be reading it and going, oh, that was a great book. We want to be practicing it. And by practicing it is putting positivity and nothing but positivity back out into the world. Facebook is a great platform, but sometimes it can catch the best of us. Sometimes it can catch our negative side. We all have a negative side that we have to control. But if we want to attract the right people into our business and into our world, as followers, as clients, as customers, as whatever, we need to have a positive message that goes out into the marketplace, and we need to take these books that we read that gives us all these great tips and advice and mindset training, we need to take to heart, and we actually need to apply it. So just remember, everything that you portray out comes back to you. You know, if you've got something to voice, great, voice it, but do it in a positive, educated, professional way, because what we're doing is we're setting a precedence for our industry, and that's really, really important. So the message today that I just wanted to get out is just practice what you preach. And I'm sure everybody's heard this, and if you haven't, you might want to write this down. For you to earn more, you must become more. And once you decide to become more and you practice and put out into the marketplace what you want to attract back, you'll see what you want to attract back come back to you tenfold. Okay, so positive comments, uplifting, excitement is what you want to put out in the marketplace, because that's what you want back into your world. So just a little message on personal development today, because it's really important, and I see a lot of comments go through Facebook, and I just want to make sure that the people in my world are putting the comments out that should be put out into the marketplace, and they're positive, and we're exercising our personal development that we are so keen to know in this industry. This is Tanya Eliza. Have an awesome day, guys.
I just noticed she was holding the Slight Edge book. That's one of my favorite books. And and yeah, let's not wing books over there, but I thought that was kind of cute.
Excellent.
Let's also ask Kristen, what's the book that Nadia mentioned? I believe every new ambassador should read this book. Do you guys remember the name of that book? All right, so, okay, so I think we're gonna go to Kristen for the recap.
For a quick recap. All right. So to truly shine in this business, you'll need to cultivate 3 important skills. So heartfelt communication, educational marketing, and nurturing team building. And then we also covered the 3 obstacles you'll face without these foundational skills, which would be lack of engagement, market resistance, and capped growth potential. So we've covered both of those and hopefully given you the tools or some tools to overcome these. So learning new skills and a different approach to building a Shaklee business can be daunting, it can be overwhelming, and it's natural to feel that you might not be good enough or have the required skills mentioned above. But remember, every expert, every top performer in our business, and actually in any industry, began just like you as a beginner. And actually, if we refer back to the video with John and Nadia Melton, you heard that at the beginning, right? You heard how Nadia was more like a powerhouse, I would call like a bull in a china shop, and John was not very keen to get up and speak. So they all start at the beginning. So you're not alone in these feelings. It's very normal, and it's a common sentiment shared by many before they achieve success. What differentiates the successful from the rest is not innate talent, but persistence, resilience, and the willingness to learn. And you're all here learning, so we know that you have that. So we're here to guide you, mentor you, and provide you with the tools and training that you need. And our community thrives on lifting each other up through workshops, one-on-one coaching, and continuous feedback will help you hone your skills, overcome these challenges, and grow confidently. So remember, the only way to become proficient is to start, or as we like to say, you gotta fly ugly sometimes, and that's okay. And with our community by your side, you're already on the path to success. So congratulations for being here.
That's it. Hey everyone, I hope you got a ton of value from this. Also, don't forget to download the Wellness Educator's Blueprint. So for staying to the end, for those of you that don't already have it, just go to yourfreedomproject.com/blueprint, or they're going to drop a link here. And that's thank you for staying with us to the end. And if you did get a ton of value, post what you liked about this in our Facebook group, or ways you think we can do better in our group. We are always interested in that. And the elves will post a link to that post in the chat or in the group itself. We look forward to seeing you in Networkers University next week. Thanks again for learning with us. And here's to you creating a lifestyle of personal freedom. And let's give another round of applause for our team who helped put this all together. Thanks, everyone. Good night, everyone.